Hello, my name is Sosa-Nakata, and I'm the author of the book you're holding in your hands right now. I saved the world, and I'm only in 4th grade. Earth's greatest pickle. I first moved to Texas about 2 years ago from Washington. I felt lonely and had no friends whatsoever. So during lunch and recess, I created stories. The moral of that was put your energy into something creative. Instead of feeling sad or lonely, put that energy that you have that you would use to be and turn that into creativity. So second point, which is a big one, write about what you know. I am not from the North Pole. You do not see me writing about Santa Claus up in the North Pole. What I wrote about was kids and diversity. For one, I'm a kid, and for two, diversity because my parents are so my mom is from Japan and my dad is from Mexico, which is very two diverse countries. Does anybody here have a parent or multiple parents that are from different countries other than the US?
Yes. Some live in New York.
That's in America.
US and America.
That's fine. I mean, they still live in a different place. And the reason I chose diversity is because there are not many books that explore the topic of diversity that I've personally seen, so I wanted to create something that is diverse. If you actually look at the characters themselves, there is Hiroshi, which eats onigiri. There is Brian, who eats tamales and speaks Spanish with his abuela, which is a grandma, and lives with 3 generations of the same household. And there is Zara, and her name is even representative of the African culture. And so is Zendala and Dakari, her 2 younger siblings. Those are all popular names in Africa. And so, let's talk about my third point, crafting the story. Would somebody like to guess how many pages I had in my first draft? That turned into 100. Yes, you, Eli.
100 pages. 101 pages.
101 pages turned into 100. Okay, yes. You were the closest answer. It was 4 pages.
What?
4 pages long, yes. I turned those few words into sentences, and those sentences into paragraphs, those paragraphs into chapters, and those chapters into the book you see now. Fourth is, oh boy, this one was hard for me and my parents, book development. So first I had to do sketches. If you were here before, you would have seen me talk about that. But sketches, as you can see over there, I had to make the characters and I had to make the emotions. And then my parents did digital sketching, as you can see in the third picture. They had to retrace all my drawings and then put that into the book. Who here has ever published a book before?
No.
Because I know that how hard it is now. So for one, you have 2 choices, vendors or self-publishing. We went with self-publishing. The reason why, vendors, you lose creative control. It could have been called something like Kids in Space, which isn't a half big title if you think about it, but Kids in Space is not the title that I want to come up with, and you can lose even more creative control with that. And it's very costly for one. Do you think we want to spend a bunch of money pouring into that? Plus, we had the idea to do multiple books. I'll get on that later. Self-publishing, you maintain your creative control. That is why my book is called I Saved the World and I'm only in 4th grade, not Kids in Space. And the only cost of time. Again, I have to thank my parents in the back there because they were the ones who did that time. And so I started me and my parents started Sosa-Nakata Publishing, which is what the book was published by, and that is my last name, Sosa-Nakata. The 5th and final thing I want to talk about is all the lessons we learned throughout this. So for one, every child is a storyteller. What are you passionate about?
Games.
Okay, you can write about video games in space.
What?
Yes, you. What are you passionate about?
Being an astronaut.
You can write about being an astronaut in space. That one actually made sense. Also, I can't stress this enough. Write about what you know. I am not Canadian. You do not see me writing about polar bears on ice skates. and of course, these days you can publish to the entire world. You can make a TV channel with YouTube. Does anybody here have a YouTube account?
My sister's working on to get one.
Okay. Does anybody have WordPress or Twitter? Because you can make a whole entire newspaper with those. Anybody have Instagram? Because you can make an instant photo gallery with that. You can have a bunch of pictures. And my last question for everybody here is, what will your story be? Thank you very much. Now, if anybody has any questions, the reason I wrote on diversity is because I don't see many children books out there, or ones that I've read at least, that have much diversity inside of those. I wanted to create something where diversity was very prominent in the story and prominent with it.